The Yankees making a major splash, bringing back an old face, signing Aroldis Chapman late Wednesday night. Chapman coming back here to the Bronx. He's got his pinstripes back on. It's reportedly a 5-year deal worth $86 million. Now, Chapman was looking for a 6-year deal. Came pretty close to getting it. The flame-throwing lefty breaks the MLB record for total value signed by a relief pitcher. So let's go ahead and bring in our SNY Yankees insider, Sweeny Murti. Sweeny, how big of a deal is this for the Yankees getting Aroldis Chapman back in the Bronx?
Yeah, it's pretty big because when you consider what they did at the deadline, it was with this idea in mind that they could have traded him for a pretty good package of prospects, what they did, and then if they wanted him back, they could have re-signed him. I still go back. I know the last couple of days here have been kind of antsy for the Yankees and their fans, wondering if he's going to come back. But I still go back to that day in late July when the Yankees traded him. The sad look on Chapman's face when he was leaving the Yankees, you just knew that if he had a chance to come back, he would at least entertain it, and he certainly entertained it and got a lot of money for it.
There's reportedly a no-trade clause for the first 3 years of this 5-year deal. How big of a deal is that for Chapman to have a little security so he can stay here in the New York area?
Yeah, I think that's important for a lot of guys, and he's been bounced around a little bit the last couple of years, and I think that's important here. Listen, the Yankees are not in a contending mode yet, but they do have contending pieces. This is certainly one of them as they look for not just for 2017, but as they try to figure out 2018 and 2019. You know, the Chapman's going to be a part of this. Well, now that's a big thing, not just for Chapman, but for the Yankees as well.
How important was this signing for the Yankees? They need a relief pitcher. They also need a starting pitcher. They need a bat as well. This is one domino falling for the Yankees. How big was this for the team?
Brian Cashman's been pretty pessimistic about being able to acquire starting pitching anywhere. Not as attractive on the free agent market. Pretty high prices on the trade market. They picked up a big righty bat in Matt Holliday, and their offense is pretty set, according to Brian Cashman, unless they trade away somebody else. There's some interest in Brett Gardner. But being able to lock down ball games at the end, it was going to cost them something to maybe trade for somebody or do something like that. Yeah, it's a pretty big contract, but it's something I think the Yankees are happy about because they know how dominant Chapman was here and what he's going to add. Remember, Dylan Betances now moves back to the 8th inning role. They have Tyler Clippard in the 7th. They've got a pretty solid 7th, 8th, and 9th inning now in the bullpen. I
just mentioned that it sets the record for relief pitchers with the 5 years, the $86 million. The average annual value is $17.2 million. Was that surprising to you that he got that much money? That blows Papelbon and Melanson and those guys out of the water, Sweeny.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much expected when the offseason began that these guys were headed somewhere around there. The 5 years surprised me a little bit, but listen, you got to go to certain lengths to get a player in free agency, and that's what the Yankees had to do here. So really the wild card here was the Marlins. They were the surprise team in here, and they were very serious about the pursuit and still could be about Kenley Jansen now. But that's kind of what really pushed this thing this far, I think, because I think all along the Yankees have been considered the favorites, but over the course of these last few days, there was some question about that.
All right, Sweeny, before we let you go, where do the Yankees go from here? What's the next move? And also, Jansen with the Dodgers, what's next for him on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Marlins and the Dodgers both looking for Jansen. What's next for the Yankees? Some small moves. I mean, if they are successful in trading Brett Gardner, then that might open up something as far as needing more help for their lineup. But they've got answers right now, or at least what they think are answers internally for a lot of their positional battles, and they'll look to upgrade. But there aren't a lot of obvious needs at this point. The back end of the bullpen was going to be their biggest obvious need, and now they filled it.
Sweeny, we thank you. Our Yankees insider. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, let's check out Chapman's numbers from 2016. Pretty good. They're pretty gaudy, impressive numbers. An ERA under 2, around 1.5. And we already know that he can live up to the pressure in New York City. Certainly a big get for the pinstripers, and he throws well over 100 miles an hour.